Something had activated the emergency shields on Lunar Base 7, but no one knew why. Inside Docking Bay 3, Elara Voss stood frozen, her hands shaking as red lights flashed across the metal walls. For 8 years she had lived a quiet life, fixing drones, avoiding crowds, and keeping her name out of every database. No one here knew who she really was. That was the plan. Then the siren stopped. The main gate hissed open. A ship, not human, hovered just outside. It wasn't attacking. It wasn't scanning. It simply waited. A voice echoed across the intercom in a strange, layered tone. "We are here for Elara Voss, the pilot of the Phoenix Blade. She must fly again." Everyone turned to her. Elara's heart dropped. No one should have known about the Phoenix Blade. No one should have remembered that mission. She'd buried that past, hid it beneath years of silence. She wasn't supposed to matter anymore, but now they had come. For her. And the sky was calling again. Elara stood surrounded. Engineers, guards. Even the base commander stared at her like a stranger. The name Phoenix Blade rang in their ears. Only the oldest officers even recognized it. A ship from a forgotten war. A pilot who had vanished after it. She forced a laugh. "You've got the wrong person." But the alien stepped forward. Tall, smooth-skinned, eyes glowing soft blue. A Zernai envoy. Peaceful, calm, but firm. "We never forget those who save us," it said. "You piloted the Phoenix Blade and turned the tide. You gave us life. Now we need you again." It handed over a data crystal. Against her better judgment, Elara loaded it into a console. Her own voice filled the room, a recording from 8 years ago, her battle logs, her flight path, her final transmission before vanishing into deep space. The entire room fell silent. "Why didn't you tell us?" whispered the base commander. Elara stared at the floor. "Because that mission cost me everything. I didn't want to be a hero. I just wanted to disappear." But the Zernai's voice turned cold. "You can't disappear anymore. The ones we fought, they've returned. Stronger. They seek the pilots who stopped them. They are hunting. And only your mind can fly the ship we've brought." Her hands clenched. She never wanted to fly again. But now, the stars weren't asking, they were demanding. They took her to the landing pad. The Zernai ship hovered like a giant winged creature, black, silent, breathing softly, with glowing lines pulsing across its surface. It didn't look like a warship. It looked alive. Elara hesitated at the ramp. The moment her foot touched the metal, the entire vessel lit up. The base crew gasped. The ship responded to her. Inside, the controls were unlike anything human. No buttons, no screens, just a glowing console and a seat that seemed to mold to her body as she sat. "It remembers you," the Zernai whispered. "It was built using memories from your mind, copied during the last war. It only answers to your thoughts." Elara gripped the armrests. The ship began to hum, sinking to her heartbeat, but the moment she closed her eyes, the memories returned. Flashes of screaming engines, burning stars, and her squadron's final cries. She opened her eyes, breath quick, heart pounding. She couldn't go back to that. Not again. "I'm not your pilot," she said, standing up. But as she turned to leave, the ship's voice echoed softly in her mind. "You already are." The next day, an unmarked Earth ship landed on the far end of Lunar Base 7. No flags, no broadcast, just a quiet arrival that made every officer stand straighter and every guard go silent. Elara watched from the observation deck as 5 figures in black stepped out, Earth's Shadow Council, the ones who operated above governments, above law. If they were here, something serious was happening. They didn't greet anyone. They walked straight into the command center and demanded a meeting with Elara. Inside the briefing room, one of them spoke without emotion. "You are not authorized to interact with alien military tech." Elara laughed bitterly. "That ship chose me. I didn't touch a thing." Another leaned forward. "Do not fly. Do not accept their request. Earth isn't ready for another war." The Zernai envoy interrupted calmly. "Your enemy is already moving. They erased our outer colonies. They're looking for her." The Wu Council's mood shifted. A silent signal passed between them. They already knew. Earth knew the enemy was coming, and they hoped Elara would stay buried. Stay forgotten. She stood, her voice low. "You were going to let them come, let people die, just to keep me grounded." The lead counselor didn't deny it. "You're not just a pilot anymore, Elara. You're a symbol, and symbols are dangerous." Her hands curled into fists. So this was the truth. The aliens needed her. Earth feared her. And the war was already here. The sky above Lunar Base 7 turned black. Too black. A ripple tore across the stars like a crack in space. Then it opened. From the void, a massive alien structure drifted into orbit. No engines, no heat, just silence. A cold, watching presence. Then a red pulse shot from it, not a weapon, but a message. Across every screen, every speaker, every comlink on the base, a voice spoke. Not a human voice, not Zernai. It was the enemy. "To the humans and their forgotten champion, we remember you. You stole victory once. We come to take it back. Surrender the pilot, or we will burn your skies again." Everyone stared at Elara. The Zernai looked afraid for the first time. Base Commander Red stepped forward. "Can we fight them?" The envoy shook its head. "Not without her." Elara said nothing. Her eyes were locked on the starless void. Her hands trembling. The last time she faced them, she lost her squad. The enemy wasn't just coming back. They were coming for her. Elara sat alone inside the alien ship's cockpit. She didn't power it on. She didn't move. But the ship responded anyway, sensing her thoughts, pulling old data from her memory. The walls lit up with ghostly projections. Her last mission. She saw herself flying the Phoenix blade. Her voice shouted commands. Her squad flew beside her. 8 fighters in perfect formation, brave, loyal, smiling through fear. Then the battle changed. Enemy ships, sleek, dark, brutal, ripped through space like knives. Screams filled her comms. One by one, her squad was wiped out, and she, the leader, could do nothing but survive. The projection showed her final move, charging the enemy flagship alone, blasting through its core, and vanishing into deep space. With her ship damaged, oxygen failing, she had saved millions, but lost everything. Tears filled her eyes. "I never wanted to be a hero. I just wanted them to live." The ship whispered to her again, not with words, but with feelings. It remembered the pain, the fire, the silence after, and then it showed her Earth, now under threat, the same evil rising again. She took a deep breath, her voice barely a whisper. "I can't watch this happen twice." Outside, Earth's moon base was in chaos. Defense systems were powering up, fighters scrambled into the sky, but none of them stood a chance against what was coming. The enemy. Ship still floated in orbit, unmoving, watching, waiting. Inside the alien vessel, Elara stared at the controls pulsing beneath her hands. The ship wasn't just waiting, it was ready. It had always been ready for her. Footsteps echoed outside the ramp. The Zernai envoy appeared. "You don't have to do this," it said quietly. Elara looked at the sky. "Yes, I do." She sat in the pilot seat. The ship came alive. Systems lighting up, engine humming like a heartbeat syncing with hers. Around her, panels shifted, adapting to her thoughts. Then Earth's Shadow Council sent a direct order. Elara Voss, stand down. Do not engage. This is not your war anymore. She ignored it. This was always her war. The hangar roof split open. Moondust swirled. The alien ship lifted into the sky, powered by her will alone. People across the base watched in silence as the vessel shot into the stars. Faster than anything they'd ever seen, Elara Voss was flying again, and nothing in the sky could stop her now. Elara broke through the upper atmosphere of the moon, and within seconds, the enemy ships moved. They had been waiting. 3 black fighters darted out from the shadow of the mothership, fast, sharp, and deadly. They circled her like vultures, scanning, adjusting, calculating her moves before they even began. But Elara didn't hesitate. Her hands didn't move much. The ship responded to her thoughts, her instincts. She dove suddenly, letting one fighter overshoot. A second later, she flipped upward, a full reverse spin, and fired. 1 down. The other 2 responded fast, using weapons that bent space mid-flight. They weren't just fighting her, they were testing her. But she was faster. She threaded between enemy blasts, the ship's wings glowing blue as it danced through impossible maneuvers. Inside, she was calm, focused. The fear was gone. Earth's satellites picked up the battle. Every screen on the planet lit up with her name and her face. People watched from homes, bunkers, and military bases. For the first time in years, they saw what a real pilot could do. She finished the last fighter with a shot that curved around its own shield. A move no AI could predict. The mothership opened a new hangar bay. More were coming. But Elara wasn't running. She whispered to her ship, "Let's show them who's back." Just as Elara prepared to strike the enemy mothership, everything stopped. A strange ripple passed through space. Her controls froze. Lights dimmed. Even her ship hesitated. Then a hollow voice echoed inside her mind, without speakers, without sound. It wasn't a message. It was a presence. From the heart of the enemy vessel, a figure emerged, projected through the void, like a shadow made of smoke and fire. A towering alien, armored in obsidian plates, eyes burning crimson. Elara Voss. It spoke directly into her thoughts. "You live, but your time has already passed." She clenched her fists. "I ended your war." The enemy commander smiled. "No, you delayed it. You fled. And because you ran, Earth forgot how to fight. You made them weak." Flashes of Earth's helplessness crossed her mind. Politics, division, fear. The truth hit hard, but Elara didn't. "Look away." Then it's time they remembered. The commander raised a clawed hand. Behind him, dozens of ships began to unfold from space, warped, jagged, deadly, a hidden fleet cloaked until now. "You can't stop this alone," he warned. She smiled coldly. "I'm not alone." In the distance, Zernai ships began to arrive. Dozens of them, answering her flight. The stars lit up with reinforcements. The real war had begun. The enemy fleet surged forward, dozens of ships tearing through space like black arrows aimed at Earth. Below, defense stations scrambled. Cities activated shields, panic spread, but above the chaos, Elara led the charge. Her ship blazed ahead of the Allied line, guiding Zernai fighters through impossible maneuvers. She didn't need to speak, they followed her by instinct. She was the blade they believed in. The battle exploded across orbit, lasers lighting the sky, engines screaming, ships burning. Earth's people watched in awe as a woman they had forgotten became their final hope. Elara fought with fury and precision, spinning, diving, striking at weak points in the enemy formation. Every move felt like music. Every turn rewrote her past. But then, one of the enemy dreadnoughts powered up a massive core weapon aimed straight at Earth. She had seconds. Target locked. Her ship whispered. She didn't hesitate. Elara pulled every ounce of power from the ship, pouring it into a final dive. The vessel roared forward, faster than physics allowed. She smashed through layers of defense, ripped into the dreadnought's heart, and fired. A blinding light filled the stars. When it faded, the dreadnought was gone. Silent. The enemy fleet froze. Then they retreated. Below, cheers echoed across Earth, a planet saved by a ghost from its past. Elara's voice came through comms, tired but steady. This time, I didn't run. She hovered high above the world she once left behind, and Earth finally remembered her name.